Overpaying for a house is one of the most expensive mistakes that you can make. And most buyers, they don't even realize it until they're doing it. And yes, it's true. In today's market, overpriced homes are everywhere. And falling for one of those homes could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. But the good news is that once you know the signs, you're never going to fall for it again. Hey guys, my name's Glen Hopkins, and in today's video, I'm going to be revealing the 5 unmistakable signs that a house is overpriced. And I'm not talking about the obvious stuff either. I'm talking about the subtle red flags that most buyers miss, mistakes that lead to overpaying by thousands of dollars. And if you think that this is just about high listing prices, think again, because the real danger is in the hidden traps that even the savviest of buyers, they seem to fall for. And that's exactly why I'm saving the most powerful tip for last. Because here's the kicker. Understanding the current and future market conditions is the ultimate edge. And it's the one thing that is going to let you see through overpriced listings as if you had X-ray vision. So make sure you stick around to the end, because if you miss that, you're going to be flying blind in today's market. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump in here. The first sign to watch out for is days on market. Now, if a home has been sitting on the market longer than other homes in the area, it's often a sign that it is overpriced. But here's the thing. To really know if it's overpriced, you need to understand the current market conditions and, of course, how long similar properties are taking to sell. So here's what I mean. In a hot seller's market, homes, they tend to fly off the shelves. We're talking days, sometimes even hours. But in slower markets, it's normal for properties to sit a little bit longer. And that's why it's so important to know the average days on market for homes like the one that you're looking at. And so the best way to find that out is to ask your real estate agent, because they've got access to all of the local data and they can tell you exactly how long similar homes are staying on the market. And that way you're going to know if a property is really overpriced or if it's just taking a little bit longer to move because it is in fact a slower market. But the general rule of thumb is that the longer a home sits on the market, the more likely it is overpriced. And when that happens, sellers often start to get nervous that their property isn't selling. They're going to feel that pressure. And that is when they're more usually open to negotiation, making this your perfect chance to get a better deal. Speaking of which, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a QR code up here on the screen. I'll also put a link in the description box below where you can download a free copy of my home buyer's negotiation playbook. In that playbook, I share some of my best kept negotiation secrets that should help you get a better deal. So make sure you download that. All right, so days on market is a great place to start, but it is just one piece of the entire puzzle. To really know if a house is overpriced, you've got to dig a little bit deeper, and you need to see how it compares to what other homes are actually selling for. And that brings us to the next sign, which is a comparative market analysis, or a CMA as it's known. Now, this is one of the most powerful tools at your disposal because it's going to compare the property that you're eyeing to recently sold homes in the area, homes with similar features like the size, the age, the location. Okay, and notice that I said recently sold homes, not recently listed homes. And here's why this matters. If the list price is significantly higher than comparable sales, that is a clear sign that the seller is either overly optimistic or, well, frankly, they're out to lunch. And that's because a well-priced home should align with what other similar homes have recently sold for. So if it's priced way above that, you're either paying for features that aren't actually there, or worse, you're paying for the seller's emotional attachment to their home. And so always ask your real estate agent for a CMA before making an offer, okay? Because this data-driven approach is going to help ensure that you don't overpay. And of course, if you don't already have an agent and you'd like my help navigating the market, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. You can schedule a call using the QR code on the screen or using the link in the description box below. Also, if you're enjoying this video, take a second to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. It just takes a second, and that way you're not going to miss out on any of my upcoming videos. All right, so now that you know how to compare prices, let's look at another sneaky way that sellers justify high prices. And it's one that catches a lot of buyers off guard. And I'm talking about square footage and lot size, but not the way you might think. Square footage and lot size are usually the first thing that people look at. But here's the thing, functionality, it matters more than size. You see, you could have a 2,000 square foot condo, but if the layout is awful, it's going to feel smaller than a well-designed 1,500 square foot home. And the same goes for lot size. You see, a house with, a big yard, it can sound great. But if that yard it's rocky, or if it's sloped, or it has a septic tank taking up all of that space, how useful is it to you really? Okay? And here's where people get caught. If a seller prices their home the same as another home with the same square footage, but their layout or their yard is completely dysfunctional, well, they're overpricing it. And you'd be paying a premium for that space even if you can't use it. So don't just look at the numbers, walk the property, okay? Visualize your lifestyle. If the space doesn't work for you, it's not worth the asking price. And this is why savvy buyers, they don't get wowed by the numbers alone. Instead, they're going to look at how practical and functional the space actually is. Now, if you think that square footage can seem misleading, wait until you hear about this next one, because it's a silent cost that can drain your wallet if you are not careful. And it's all tied in to the age of the home. And this is a sneaky one that catches a lot of buyers off guard, the age of the home. It's easy to overlook because on paper, two homes can look almost identical. They can have the same square footage, the same number of bedrooms, the same lot size, and heck, even the photos can look pretty similar online. But here's the thing, it's often what is behind the walls that matters. You see, it's not that hard to make a 40-year-old home look like a 20-year-old home. Things like a fresh coat of paint, maybe a new flooring or updated fixtures, and suddenly that home is going to look brand new. But that doesn't mean it has good bones, does it? And so sometimes in the industry, we call this putting lipstick on a pig, meaning that it looks great on the surface, but what is actually behind the walls? So always make sure that you get a thorough inspection, because if an older home needs significant updates, things like plumbing or electrical appliances, maybe a roof or windows, well, you get it, right? It could be overpriced. All right, in a minute, I'm going to explain the most important factor that ties all of this together. But first, there's one more often overlooked warning sign that trips up even the savviest of buyers, especially when dealing with condos and townhouses. And that is monthly strata fees and special levies. With stratified homes such as condos and townhouses, the price tag might look reasonable, but when you start to add on the monthly strata fees, upcoming maintenance fees, and special levies, that affordable condo suddenly doesn't look so affordable. So imagine this, you find a condo that seems like a great deal, the price is within your budget, and the photos look fantastic. But after moving in, you discover that the building needs some repairs. So maybe it's a new roof or some plumbing upgrades or lobby renovations, and suddenly you're going to be hit with a special levy that could cost you thousands of dollars. And guys, this happens way more often than you might think, and it's one of the most expensive surprises that a buyer can face. And the worst part is that by that time, you're already committed and there's no backing out. And it's not just about special levies either. Monthly strata fees can be a huge expense as well, and they add up very quickly. In some buildings, strata fees can be almost as high as the mortgage payment itself. So whatever you do, before you even think about making an offer and signing on that dotted line, make absolutely sure that you ask for the Strata's financial statements and look for any mention of upcoming maintenance or special levies, okay? Also, you're going to want to check out the contingency reserve fund. Now, this is the building's savings account, okay? It's a savings account for anticipated future repairs. And if that savings account is low, you could be on the hook for those upcoming costly repairs. So make sure you check that. And thirdly, also compare the strata fees to similar units in the area. And if they're unusually high, find out why that is, because it is definitely a red flag. All right, so we've covered the big warning signs, but there is one thing that ties all of it together. And this next piece is the ultimate edge. It's the edge that is going to separate smart buyers from everyone else. And that piece is the market conditions. All right, so this is your ultimate edge. You can spot all of the other signs, but if you don't understand the market conditions, you're only seeing half the picture. So you see, knowing what kind of market you're in and where it is headed is going to be everything. So let me break this down for you. There are 3 different types of markets. The first one is a buyer's market. Now, in a buyer's market, prices are typically on the decline and there's a surplus of homes for sale. And this is measured by something we call months of inventory. And months of inventory is simply just a way to measure the supply and demand in the market. So it's going to show how long it would take to sell all of the homes currently listed on the market if no other listings were to come to market. All right. So if there are 3 months or less of inventory, we're in what's called a seller's market. This is where prices are likely going to go up because demand is higher than the actual supply. Now, if there's 4 to 6 months of inventory, this is a balanced market and prices are generally going to be stable here. All right. But if there are 6 months or more of inventory, it's a buyer's market. And this means that there is more homes for sale than there are buyers. And this is when prices are likely to drop. So here's why this matters. If you're in a buyer's market with high months of inventory, paying today's market value could be a costly mistake. You see, with higher months of inventory, there's a very good chance that that house that you're looking at will be worth less in the near future. And if your closing date is, say, 2 to 3 months out from now, you could be overpaying by literally thousands of dollars. So imagine buying a home today only to find out that a few months later, the market has continued to drop and similar homes are now selling for less. That, by the way, guys, is how a lot of buyers end up underwater with their mortgages. And here's the thing, if you know that prices are trending down, you can negotiate harder. Or, of course, you can wait until the market hits bottom and you can get the best deal. Now, this is why understanding the market conditions is so important. It's essential and it's going to let you see the future. You're going to see the future of home prices before they even happen, which is going to give you the power to make the smartest buying decision possible. So here's a tip. When you're house hunting, you always want to make sure you ask your agent a couple of questions. Number 1, ask them what kind of market you are currently in. Number 2, ask them where the prices are headed in the next couple of months. And number 3, ask them how many months of inventory are currently available. These 3 questions are going to help you see through those overpriced listings and are going to help you find the real deals. And here's the kicker. It's not just about avoiding overpricing. It's about spotting opportunities that others don't even see. So if you want to learn how to read the market just like a pro and see through those overpriced listings like you've got X-ray vision, subscribe to the channel and watch out for the next video I've got coming up. In that video, I'm going to be diving deep into the insider secrets that most real estate agents simply don't want you to know about. And trust me, it is going to be a game changer. Now, in the meantime, if you have any questions, if you want to chat about real estate, feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to help. Otherwise, I will see you on the next video.